Welcome everybody to Mr. Entertainer, baby. I'm so happy to be here tonight, here at the Hands and Feet Ministry on the Westside, man. A lot of good things going on with this network. American Hearts Radio Entertainment Corporation is going places I never imagined. So is Hands and Feet Foundation. And I'm so happy to announce that they made the headlines. Florida Times-Union, man. That is so awesome. James Gandy, tree cutter, grows homeless ministry. That is so cool. You know, they have fellowship and they feed and clothe people on a daily basis here at Hands and Feet. They get drug addicts into rehabilitation. They get homeless veterans into housing. I tell you what, you know, God is working in so many lives and changing so many lives here at Hands and Feet Foundation, and I feel so honored and privileged that the Lord chose us to be able to spotlight this and let you know what's happening and how Jesus is working in people's lives here. And I thank the Lord for James and Amy Gandy, wonderful people. So, you know, go to the Florida Times-Union website and check out this issue, February 19th, 2018. You know, that's so cool. And there's going to be a lot more big things happening with the Hands and Feet Foundation. You know why? Because they're doing exactly what Jesus taught us to do here. And I also want to take a minute to reflect on this past month here in February. One thing I know is we never know how long we're going to be here on this earth. And we are never promised tomorrow. And I know that you need to make the best of every day, because might not be here tomorrow. I had a friend of mine, Kenny Malott. Me and him painted together for 25, 30 years. He was my little buddy. Same age as me. He was actually a week older than me. We grew up, did a lot of crazy stuff together, man. Ran the streets, partied a lot, did a lot of messed up stuff. But we did a lot of work together over the years and painted a lot of houses and had a lot of great times. Even through our ups and downs, man, we still remain friends. And he had called me several weeks ago and seen what we were doing here and what the network is doing with the ministry. And he wanted to get with me and find out about getting closer to Jesus. About a week and a half later, he died of a sudden heart attack. And I lost 3 friends this month in February. I lost Kenny Malott. I love you, little buddy. I also lost a friend of mine, Donnie Moore, which I met here at Hands and Feet. He was a homeless veteran and stayed in my yard in his van for a little while until Hands and Feet Foundation helped him get into housing, and found out he passed away as well about a week ago. Right before Christmas, we lost Marlene Van Zant, Donnie and Johnny Van Zant's sister. I did a lot of work for her over the years, and I've done a lot of work with the Van Zant family for almost 35 years. They are a part of my family. A couple weeks ago, we lost Lindsay Van Zant, Johnny Van Zant's daughter. One of the most wonderful people, kindest human beings you'll ever know. She worked at Jacksonville Zoo. She worked to do a lot of rescue for animals. She was an artist, vibrant. She lost her battle with leukemia. And I I went to her celebration of life. It was the most beautiful experience I've ever been part of, seeing all these people come together. Had her casket on a carriage being driven by a horse and carriage driver, and everybody followed the carriage to the resting place. And then right when everybody got there, you looked over to your right and seen an old codger, old mountaineer looking guy with his horse, his donkey, and his dog with a rebel flag over the back of the horse. And the old mountaineer guy just saluted. And it was a beautiful moment, man. I just want to take this minute to remember Lindsay Van Zant. She was my friend. She was a wonderful person. And the Lord took her. And Lindsay, you'll never be forgotten. Her husband, Brandon, is an awesome guy, man. He chose this little poem here I'd like to read and share with you, which is absolutely beautiful. It's called Safely Home. I am home in heaven, dear ones, all so happy, all so bright. There's perfect joy and beauty in the everlasting light. All the pain and grief are over. Every restless tossing past, I am now at peace forever. Safely home in heaven at last. Did you wonder I so calmly trod the valley of the shade? Oh, but Jesus' love illuminated every dark and fearful glade. And he came himself to meet me on the ways so hard to tread. And with Jesus, his arm to lean on, could I have one doubt or dread? Then you must not grieve so sorely, for I love you dearly still. Try to look beyond earth's shadows, pray to trust our Father's will. There's work still waiting for you, so you must not idly stand. Do your work while life remaineth, you shall rest in Jesus' land. When that work is all completed, he will gently call you home. Oh, the rapture of the meeting. Oh, the joy to see you come. Love you, Lindsay. I'll never forget you, baby. We were there at the funeral. It was more of a celebration of her life, and she wanted everybody to have this book and gave it out to everybody. It's called A Diary of a Private Prayer by John Belele. It's a devotional classic. I'd like to do just a quick reading. Got a great show for you tonight. And just want to read this. It's a beautiful book, man. Diary of a Private Prayer. And this is for prayers that you can say in the morning, during the day, and in the evenings. It says, Eternal Father of my soul, my first thought for today of you, let my first impulse to be worship you. Let my first word be your name. Let my first action be to kneel before you in prayer. For your perfect wisdom and perfect goodness, for the love you have for all people, for the love you have for me, for the great mysterious opportunity in my life, for your Spirit who dwells in my heart, for the 7 gifts of your Spirit, I praise and worship you, our Lord. Thank God for the Van Zant family. They've looked out for me most of my life. And we've got a special guest tonight, my friend Mr. Jimmy Withers, which is going to bring to us a little rock and roll history about Ronnie Van Zant, Lindsay's uncle. And anybody who is anybody in Leonard Skinner knows who Ronnie Van Zant was and is and always will be. To me, he's a prophet. Music. Simple man. Free bird. Well, we're going to be doing a little rock and roll history detective stuff here in just a minute. I'm going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, Johnny Van Zant here from Skinner. Hey, I want you to donate to the Hands and Feet, Westside. Westside's the best side. There you go. It's where I was born at. Anyway, hey, listen, they're feeding homeless vets, homeless people, helping people recover. They're a good organization. Don't forget, donate to the Hands and Feet, Westside. God bless.
Rock and roll, bro. Please donate to the Hands and Feet Foundation, Westside, today. This ministry is a 501c3 non-for-profit organization. They feed people everyday hot meals. They give away clothes and food, and they also offer a sanctuary and prayer. Donate to the Hands and Feet Foundation on the West Side, Jacksonville, Florida, right there on 103rd Street. God bless you. Tell them American Hearts Radio sent you. We're on a mission from God.
Please visit Hands and Feet Westside, www.facebook.com/handsandfeet.org, or give them a call at 904-465-5083. 904-465-5083.
Hi, Rich Norton here with Retriever Merchant Solutions. Retriever Merchant Solutions is an independent sales office for Vantiv credit card processing. If you're a small business and you're tired of paying high credit card processing fees with a lot of garbage fees and you're getting terrible service, time to call us. We're a direct processor. We're going to give you better rates, better service, and you'll be happy you're with us. Call 904-434-4635. Just ask for Rich Norton. I'll be blessed and happy to help you.
U.S. Law Shield, protecting the Second Amendment and your rights.
That's right, people. Sign up now for a year and get locked in on a fixed rate and get 2 months free when you text American Hearts to 1-281-603-0105 to receive your offer. All attorney fees are covered. 24/7 attorney answered hotline. Civil and criminal trials covered. No caps or reimbursement. U.S. Law Shield. Tell American Hearts Radio sent you.
U.S. Law Shield, protecting the Second Amendment and your rights.
All right, getting back to this gun. Barry Fay was a promoter out in Denver, Colorado, and I wasn't there at this particular time, but they would have been drinking, carrying on, and Barry Fay had bought this gun with intentions of giving it to Ronnie Van Zant. And so they were drunk and piddling around, whatever, and so there's a shot of Barry Fay pointing this gun at Ronnie's head, jokingly, I'm sure, and it's all over YouTube and the internet, and most folks don't know that it's this gun, but this was the gun. And so when he came home, it was in a box, a wooden box, and it might have been inside this. But anyway, Ronnie had it for a while, and I was out there piddling around, and I looked at it, seen it, and so we went fishing one morning early, and McGurk's Creek. For y'all that don't know where McGurk's Creek is, McGurk's Creek runs from the Timaquana Bridge in A.S. Jacksonville, crosses over under 295, and crosses Blanding Boulevard. That is actually the Duval County, Clay County line there. But that's actually called McGurch Creek. Some people call it Artiga River, different things, but it's from McGurch Creek. And we would fish for bass there, starting around April, May, June. And a lot of times, water moccasins are bedding and breeding and bedding at that time, and they'll have a nest, babies in them bushes. And if you don't know it, if a water moccasin has babies nearby and you come by there in a boat piddling, that snake will come out there. If it's not in the tree, it will come out there in the water and run you off or try to get in the boat with you. So we would carry this pistol and carry a couple 22 slugs in it and carry some rat shot for shooting the snakes. So when we did that, I used to have a 9-shot Ivory Johnson target pistol we carried, and I forgot it. So Ronnie brought this one out there. And so while we was fishing, and we came back from fishing, Ronnie gave me the pistol. He said he didn't have no use for it, and so he gave me this pistol. And so I kept it for years. And then Ricky Mullis, a worker buddy of mine, saw it, had to have it, so I let Ricky have it. And so recently, Ricky has came down with a bad liver and needed a transplant, so I did a benefit show for Ricky a couple of months ago. And so in order to get a little money together and to help with the cost of putting on the benefit show for Ricky, Ricky put this gun up, was going to put it up for auction or raffle at his benefit. Decided that he would rather have the gun than have it auctioned or raffled. So Jimmy purchased it, and we used that money to help pay for some of the benefit expenses for Ricky Mullis. And this is the gun that you see in that shots on YouTube and Facebook of Barry Fay pointing this gun at Ronnie Van Zant's head. As a joke, of course, but this is the actual pistol. But that's the gun. So Jimmy Withers is the proud owner of the gun that Ronnie Van Zant is having pointed at his head on YouTube and Facebook and all those pictures with Barry Fay. We shot it back then at some moccasins and target practice. It shoots very straight, you know, because I ain't shot it in, my God, since somewhere 1977. But wow. It was it's a 22, so it don't have a lot of kick in its head. You'd shoot what you was aiming at with this pistol if you held it and pointed it directly what you're going to shoot at. It don't have no kick.
Okay. All right, that's out of the way.
Woohoo!
And we're back, everybody, with my partner, Mr. Jimmy Withers. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Good.
You know, I asked you earlier if you were kin to Barley Withers or Larry Withers.
No.
My girlfriend's last name is Withers.
Sorry.
No, it's a good thing, man. Withers is a good thing. Withers people are cool.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, rob me?
No, I didn't know if I
ain't got no money, man.
Way out of this place or not.
No, let's just slide that over here. Pick it up, show the camera why you're holding this pistol. This pistol, what type of gun is this?
It's a 22 long rifle made in West Germany back in the 40s.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it registered?
Not sure.
Not sure? Now, this pistol is in, was it 4 known photos, or is there more than 4?
There's 3 that I know of, and supposedly Craig Reed has a bunch, because he was the one taking
Craig Reed has, and Craig Reed was a sound guy with Leonard Skinner for years, right?
He was one of the managers. I'm not sure exactly which kind of tour manager, road manager, I'm not sure.
Well, I know he was with Skinner for years because I did talk to Johnny.
Yeah.
And he knows who Craig is. Now, this pistol, and this is a mystery here because you believe this was Ronnie Van Zant's pistol.
Yes, that's what I'm told by.
That's what you've been told by Gene Odom and
Ricky Mullis.
Ricky Mullis.
A few others.
Okay, and the photos, you have your phone with
Yes.
those photos?
Yes, I do.
Now, there's several photos that you posted that are showing Ronnie Van Zant messing with the gun and somebody else messing with the pistol in the studio. All right, we've got this first one here with Ronnie, and can't see it, but Bruce, he'll do the post-editing and put those pictures up there. This first photo we're looking at is Ronnie pointing the gun at a guy that was in the Who.
I hear he's the sound guy for the Who.
He was the sound guy for the Who, so Ronnie's smiling, putting the gun in the sound guy in the Who's head. Now this is back in the 70s, okay? It was a whole different world back then. And this other photo that you have, what's the other ones we've got? We've got one of the pistol itself, and we've got one with Ronnie Van Zant
At the Hell House.
at Hell House, which was Leonard Skinner's band room, with Gary Rosington, Billy Powell, Alan Collins, Leon Wilkerson, Jeff Carlisi from 38 Specials in there, and we've got Ronnie with the gun in his pants. All right, now we've got another photo
Multiples of that one.
of multiples of the one with, now here's another one with, now this guy
This is the
is
famous
pointing, that's the famous one, of the guy pointing the gun at Ronnie, and they're all drinking and partying, and they're messing with guns. This is the 70s, people. It was a whole different ballgame back then. Now, the guy pointing the gun at Ronnie, you were told, is the one that gave Ronnie the gun.
I saw Barry Fay. He was a promoter in Denver, Colorado, and I guess this is some sort of a setup in a restaurant or something where they did that. And I'm told that he gave Ronnie that gun that night.
Now, you on the bag of the gun says Colorado on it.
Yeah.
See, this is history detective stuff we're doing. Okay. Well, it sure does. From Colorado, Barry Bay. It's all connecting here. Now, this is the weird thing. I spoke to Johnny Van Zant. I spoke to Donnie Van Zant. Johnny called Judy, Ronnie's widow, because we're trying to authenticate this gun, if it was actually Ronnie's pistol. All of them said they did not even have any clue that Ronnie ever had a gun. Okay? Was that gun ever registered to Ronnie?
I don't have a clue.
We don't have a clue. Back then, they didn't register guns. Here, man, if you want a gun, here's a pistol for you. You know, it was a big thing back then. But what we need to do, regardless if it was Ronnie's gun or not, we've got the photographs showing that he definitely had it in his possession, and they were definitely messing with it. And we're doing a little history detective to try to authenticate if it was Ronnie's gun. Now tell us a little bit what Gene Odom told you and what everybody else has told you that you know that's involved with this.
Okay.
Talk to them, not me.
Okay, I've got a YouTube video if you want to put a link to it. The story I'm told is Barry Fay gave Ronnie the gun after taking that famous picture, or those famous pictures. I'm also told Craig Reed has more pictures of it. One day they went, it was on the 1976 tour, and one day when they got done with that tour, they went fishing, and Gene had forgot his gun, you know, to bring with him, and Ronnie grabbed this one.
Was that the year that they came out with the song "Give Me Back My Bullets"?
I have no clue. Well, yeah, it would be pretty close, wouldn't it?
Because I know they got the old Leonard Skinner with the pistol, with a pistol on the logo and stuff, and then they came out with "Give Me Back My Bullets." I'm wondering if there's any connection there.
I'm not sure. But he said they would shoot snakes with it, you know. He talked about how the moccasins would like to get in the boat with you, you know, I guess if they're nesting or whatever, and they took this. He said after that fishing trip, or a couple fishing trips, Ronnie gave it to him. He said he didn't have any use for it. and he could have it.
That was Barry Fay.
No, that was Ronnie giving it to Gene.
Oh, Ronnie gave it to Gene.
Yeah, Barry Fay gave it to Ronnie while they were on tour.
Okay.
And Ronnie gave it to Gene on a fishing trip.
Ronnie gave it to Gene on a fishing trip.
Yeah, between tours.
Okay.
And
now Gene Odom and Ronnie were best friends.
oh yeah, fishing buddies all the way from childhood. So then years went by. Gene gave it to a guy named Ricky Mullis, and Ricky Mullis had it for years. And we did a benefit for cancer for Ricky Mullis, actually.
Wow.
And I ended up purchasing the gun to help fund the cancer benefit.
So they auctioned it off.
No, they just sold it right out to me. I offered the money and they did it.
So that money went towards helping.
It was a big thing. I mean,
Wow.
yeah. And Ricky Mullis is fine these days, by the way.
Amen.
So yeah, and then that's how I got it, and that's where we are.
Now, you had posted this, and it caught my attention. I'm sure it caught a lot of people's attention. And you were looking to get rid of it, but then, you actually reached out to me
Yeah.
to get with Johnny to see, hey, would Johnny like to have it? Because, we like to keep it in the family.
That's exactly what had happened is I got into a little financial trouble, and I bought this as an investment that I knew one day that and so I was trying to sell it, and somebody said something. It might have been Gene. He might have said something. You should try to sell it back to Johnny, and it's like, poof, man, that's a perfect idea. Give it back to the Van Zants. And so that's what I've been trying to do. I mean, I've taken it all, and I haven't offered it to anybody to sell or nothing. Just kind of wait and see if that pans through, and if not, I'm kind of out of my financial trouble now a little bit, so I might hang on to it. I don't know.
Well, I tell you, regardless, I don't know how we're going to prove that Ronnie actually owned that gun, but everything is starting to come in place, and what you're saying is logical and makes sense because they were all together, man.
Yeah.
And everybody knows these people. Now, I'm going to get back with Johnny on this, and he's going to watch this show, him and Donnie both.
Okay.
So I know what I feel in my heart needs to happen. This is the pistol that's in those photos. Those photos are historic rock and roll pictures, man.
Google them.
And
they're not my days.
There's talks about a Southern Rock Museum soon. And to be able to get those photos and that pistol in the Southern Rock Museum, your name would be in that museum long after we're both gone, brother.
Well, okay.
I see that's where this should be.
Me too. That's why it was such a great idea. It's like, after I didn't have to sell it anymore, it still was a good idea. It's like, what's it doing in my house? It should be where it belongs.
Well, you know what? It was meant to be in your possession for probably reasons both of us don't understand.
That's another thing. It would have just got sold off into the crowd. I mean, one guy was a private collector from California that had Elvis's gun. I mean, this is what the guy, he collected this kind of stuff. And he offered me $1,800, I think, for it or something like that. And I turned it down, and it's just that back of your head, you're selling it off into the crowd. Nobody's ever going to see it again, and there's famous pictures of it. And
you know what, James Gandy, the owner of Hands and Feet, when I told him about what we're getting ready to do and the whole segment of today's show, he said, Mike, he says, you and Jimmy Withers ought to call history detectives. Get them involved.
Fine with me.
So I think that should be something that we should send them the show, see if they're interested in helping us uncover this and authenticate this pistol, because that's what they do.
That's a great idea.
Well, I think that's what we're going to do, bro.
All right, let's do it.
All right. And all you Leonard Skinner fans out there, you seen it here, baby. This is it, right here on Mr. Entertainer with Mr. Jimmy Withers. Here, grab the gun. Go ahead. Act crazy like they were doing in the picture.
No,
go ahead.
It's loaded.
No,
It's loaded.
think this was really cool, Jimmy. I want to say thank you for bringing this in and us taking the time to really break this down and see where this goes.
Yeah.
But I know that I got a feeling in my heart that this pistol needs to be put into Southern Rock Museum, and I think if we can get history detectives involved and get some things happening, I think that's exactly where it's going to end up.
It's a great idea. I can't wait.
Awesome, man. I'll tell you, Jimmy, thank you so much for being my guest. Is there anything you'd like to say to anybody, your big fans out there? You know you're going to have millions of people out there checking you out and wondering who the heck you are, right?
I'm nobody's.
No, you're a child of God, brother. And now, you're on Mr. Entertainer. We'll see you next time. Rock and roll, baby.